Of course, that match was an instant classic.
But, Justine, which match of yours wasn't a classic?
Oh, you're way too kind, Robin. To point out that very real truth.
Were you nervous at all?
Me? Nervous? Of course not. I had that match on lock. In fact, I was always calm, cool, and collected from my first day in the ring to my 6th championship victory.
The following is scheduled for one fall and is for the WWE Women's Championship. Introducing the challenger, Justine. And introducing the champion from Forest Lake, Minnesota, Molly Holly. Here is your winner and the new WWE Women's Champion, Justine.
Watching my first title win again?
After you talked it up so much on your podcast this week, how can I not?
Don't get me wrong, it's a fantastic match. I just figured you had it memorized by now.
Sure, but it's a tradition at this point. Visit my favorite aunt.
Only aunt?
Watch her most epic victories. And now also stress about what I have to live up to in my debut at Survivor Series tomorrow night. Why are you laughing?
Oh, nothing. Just that if I didn't know better, I'd say you were nervous, which is super hilarious, because I know that I didn't teach my favorite niece
Only niece.
to be nervous about getting in the ring and doing what she does best.
Yeah.
Especially not when she's been trained by one of the biggest legends in the business. If I'm being honest, there's really no comparison.
You really do manage to turn everything into a compliment about yourself, don't you?
Of course I do. I'm a 6-time women's champion. Would have been 10 if my career hadn't been cut short by injury.
I get it.
A main eventer and Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Who had the top merch sales in the 2003 fiscal year.
Okay, you've made your point. I should get ready for tomorrow.
That's my girl.
The whole golf cart with the black sheets get up.
Don't worry about it. No one knows who you are. Yet. No one knows who you are yet. Tom.
Justine! And LJ too? It's so good to see you both.
Same here, Tom.
Wait, do you even still go by LJ? Man, it was always a hoot and a half having you backstage when you were a kid, dressing up in Justine's gear, being her shadow, her little Justine. But suppose you're not 8 anymore, huh?
It's fine. But I am trying to get known on my own here.
I've heard. Good thing you're debuting tonight. The secret's pretty much out backstage. A few more hours and it'd be out to the entire WWE universe. You doing something here tonight too, Justine?
Nope, just here to support my niece's big moment.
Come on. Surely you'll find some way to steal the spotlight.
Molly.
Justine.
Wow, I've got I better go check on the, Yeah, I got no good reason, but I'm gonna leave now.
I heard you were working backstage these days.
Beats sitting at home, talking to the internet.
It's called a podcast, and it's very popular.
But I'm not here to resurrect old rivalries.
Would you really call it a rivalry if there's a clear conclusion and undisputed winner?
I was actually here to greet our newest WWE superstar. Wish her luck.
She doesn't need luck.
And let her know that I'll be working with her to get her ready for her Survivor Series debut this evening. Is that all right?
No, that's great. I'm so excited to be here representing Team SmackDown.
Great. Get settled and then let's talk. Justine.
Please don't make things more difficult for me on my first day. Besides, you two were friends once.
Sorry, you're right. It's just... Well, you know what she did. It might be ancient history and there's no reason for her to mess with you, but be careful with Molly, okay? I'm gonna go say hello to people. You alright?
I'm all right. I'm ready.
Yeah, you are. I love you, kid. You'll do great.
The wait is over for the reveal of Team SmackDown's mystery partner. The following contest is a 6-woman tag team match. On the way to the ring, the Superstar, Liv Morgan and Bianca Belair. Team SmackDown.
Do you know who that is? The final member of Team SmackDown is none other than the niece of WWE Hall of Famer Justine.
The last Legacy superstar I remember debuting at Survivor Series was The Rock. No pressure, kid.
It's Team Raw ready to battle for brand supremacy. And their opponents, Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, and Bayley. Team Raw.
The superstars from the Red Brand are here to prove they don't need to play mind games to come out on top.
Well, if you're referring to the fact that Team SmackDown has a mystery partner, I think that's just good strategy.
This night will be etched in WWE history one way or another.
Kick to the midsection.
She certainly has the confidence of her aunt. Looks like she's setting up for the Justine Jammer.
A tribute move in tribute gear? We're about to see a once-in-a-lifetime moment.
Not if Charlotte Flair has anything to say about it.
You only have one chance to make a first impression, and this one might include a hurt ankle.
And Rhea's taking advantage. Riptide! Covered by Ripley!
Rhea got her.
With the elimination, Team Raw now has the advantage.
What a letdown for the Blue Squad.
She definitely didn't expect to be out so early in this match. The top rope mishap and an apparent ankle injury played a key role in that.
And it looks like Charlotte Flair is determined to add insult to injury.
Wait a minute. Hall of Famer Justine is here.
We haven't seen Justine in a WWE arena for over a decade.
One thing is clear, the WWE Universe is thrilled to see this venerated 6-time women's champion here tonight in any circumstance.
And it looks like Justine is just as thrilled to see them. Things might not have turned out how she wanted for her niece, but she's loving this crowd.
I'm just hoping that Justine can get her niece on the right track. After this debut, she certainly needs some guidance.
Did you hear that pop?
What? The sound of my ankle popping or my career imploding?
Oh, how is that ankle? Or more importantly, how's that ego?
Ankle's okay. Ego? That's another story.
Well, your gear looked great.
Thanks. Sorry I couldn't do you proud.
You always make me proud. Just have a better match next time. Besides, you may have made a mistake in the ring, but Charlotte still acted out of line. If I was medically cleared for in-ring action, I would put the queen in her place.
Believe me, I'm mad about it. But I'm not sure that Charlotte did anything you wouldn't have done.
Nah, but one of the perks of having a career-ending injury is getting to apply unrealistic standards on the next generation. Why do you think I like training you so much?
Right.
Listen, I don't want to leave if you need to talk, but I got word that WWE management wants to chat before we head out. Something about the butt.
If anyone taught me how to be resilient, it's you. I'm fine.
That's my girl. I'll find you in a bit. But what people forget is that for someone to win, someone else has to lose.
It is better to win, though.
Of course. Actually, speaking of winning, I have a few developments that Ruthless Digressions listeners will be thrilled to hear about.
Oh, care to share with those listeners or your co-host?
Like I told my niece at Survivor Series, patience, Robin, patience.
So, I know I didn't exactly get the best start, but I've got my head...
That's great to hear.
What do you have for me tonight?
Now, here's something that's less great to hear. WWE management thinks that after everything that's happened...
Don't worry, I'm not going to make the same mistake twice. But I need to redeem myself and show the WWE...
I think you might have to settle for no spotlight. Backstage sentiment on you is not good right now. You may be a SmackDown superstar.
So...
Non-existent.
What can I do? I don't want to just sit in catering.
No one does. But this will all blow over. My advice until then? Find some way to make an impact. Be so good in the ring that they can't deny you.
How am I supposed to do that if I can't get a match?
I said I couldn't get you a match on SmackDown. There are other opportunities to wrestle. Actually, I can pull some strings and get you on main event. You'll need to find an opponent, though. Most of the roster is
Pretty busy or pretty mad at me, from the sound.
Yeah, I may have heard those rumblings. Although, have you met Ava Moreno yet? She's pretty new to SmackDown, too. And also...
We've met. I'm not sure she...
Neither of you have to work with anyone. You just have to show up and fight each other. Get her to agree to that, and I'll set up the match. If there's some sort of beef between you...
Well, if it isn't little Justine, I would say I'm sorry how your big debut turned out, but I don't like to lie.
What do I want? I just feel like maybe we got off on the wrong foot at Survivor Series. Tensions were high. I was hoping we could help each other. Molly says she can get me a match on main event if I can find an opponent. After everything you said
Sure.
Great. That was actually easier than I thought.
Oh, but let me be clear. I want a match on main event, but not one against you. I want to make an impact here.
What did you just call me?
If I wasn't perfectly clear at Survivor Series, I like people who've come up the right way and paid their dues. Not nieces who get handed special treatment because of what family they're a part of. And if that wasn't enough, I certainly don't like you.
Regardless of what you think of me, I don't see how just sitting around and complaining is going to change anything.
I know as well as you do that no one else in the locker room is going to help you. You want a match with me? Prove that you have what it takes when you have to work for an opportunity.
I don't waltz.
We can agree to disagree. What do you want?
Come on, you don't hit a WWE official.
It was clearly an accident, Corey.
But one that it looks like Ava is willing to take advantage of.
Drop toe hold onto the chair.
A chair, a downed referee, and an opportunity? What's she gonna do?
Is she going to use the chair?
Guess she decided to fight fair.
Ouch.
And Ava Moreno gets the win.
It seems like she was trying to do the honorable thing, but it backfired.
You'd think winning would be more important than honor, Byron.
Either way, I can't imagine this second-generation superstar is very happy with the outcome.
At least one person's happy here. This could be the type of win that could really generate some momentum for Ava Moreno.
Well, pretty pleased with how that match went.
Of course you are. You cheated.
What are you talking about? The refs certainly didn't see anything.
You pulled out a chair.
Ava may have done that, but you, of all people, should know that it doesn't matter what actually happens. It only matters what others, in this case the ref, sees, or think they see.
Me of all people? What does that mean?
I told you I would make the WWE Universe stand up and take notice.
You planned this from the start, didn't you?
Maybe not this exactly, but I knew I had to use an opportunity against you to make a statement. Didn't go exactly as I planned, but lucky for me, you don't even know how to cheat right. And now, everyone's talking about the victory I claimed over little Justine.
Ava's right about that. It's the most buzzworthy main event match we've seen in a while. And not just the finish. You two are really going at it. It's got so much attention that management wants a rematch.
A fair one this time, I hope. Let me prove I'm better than her.
Yes, because matches in WWE are always above board and no one tries any shenanigans. But to your point, the rematch will be no DQ, which means shenanigans?
That's more like it. I think I've proven my point. I'm better.
I guess you can keep up with me when I'm having a bad day. But better? You must have lost count, LJ. We're even. We both have one win and one loss.
Ava's right on that point.
Of course you'd be on her side.
Do you really think I have it out for you somehow? Ava's right. As far as WWE is concerned, you're square. So, if you really want to settle the score, this needs to be a best out of 3 series. At least that's what...
Fine. I'll beat her.
They'd actually like you to have the final match on SmackDown.
On SmackDown?
Are you serious?
That's what I said, didn't I?
Then I can't...
Oh, calm down.
Just one thing. The show's already been booked and is pretty tight. I could only get you a little time. So it's officially a 5-minute time limit match. My recommendation if you want...
It's like I've always said, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And did you see the finish of that match? What a victory! In fact, it's a day of victories for this whole family. Not only did my niece triumph in her first match on SmackDown, it's finally time for that big announcement I've been teasing. As you know, I recently appeared at Survivor Series, and it seemed that impromptu moment scratched an itch that the WWE Universe didn't even know they had. After some talks with corporate, we've come to an arrangement, and starting next episode, Ruthless Digressions will be an official WWE podcast. It'll be all the same content you love, just with a little more WWE oomph behind it, including a brand new studio set so we can record video for all our exclusive interviews. Move over, Broken Skull Sessions and Steve Austin. There's a new podcast host in town, and it's me. Hey, want to get dinner after the show tonight? Yeah, I ended up in town to shoot some podcast tie-ins. Why do you look so annoyed?
Can't. Apparently I'm babysitting for Lacey Evans.
Really? I didn't even know you were friends.
We're not. Long story. Thought I was filling in for her in a match. Turns out I'm filling in watching her kids. She says she'll help me get a match, though.
Any way to get a match is a good one. Nothing wrong with doing someone a favor. Of course, there is another option.
I'm listening.
Oh, you could always just not show up. Then there would be someone looking for an opponent. Lacey wouldn't be happy, though.
I don't want to mess with someone's home life, even if Lacey essentially tricked me into helping her. I'll babysit.
Probably for the best.
I think I can handle a few kids.
You'd be surprised.
Well, this pair certainly has something to celebrate, qualifying for the first ever tag team Money in the Bank match.
It was a huge win in their... What was that?
Someone said help!
Oh my God!
What's that she's under? A fallen lighting rig?
Help!
How does this kind of accident even happen?
Do you really think this is just an accident, Corey?
Well, what else could it be? This tag team's too new to have enemies.
Well, we hope she's okay. We'll keep you updated on this developing situation.
Hold on.
Can't wait to get this space back. Ready? 1, 2, 3, lift!
Why is this so heavy? That good?
Nah, we gotta get it closer for pickup. Honestly, I'm just glad that you weren't the one who got hurt. Can you imagine? Taken out by a lighting rig.
No, luckily recovery's only a few weeks. Too late to help me for the tag team Money in the Bank match, though.
Even a small injury can mess with your head. Believe me, I know. Did they ever figure out how that thing fell?
Unclear. Seems like dumb bad luck. For me, too. Finally figured out who to partner with, and now they're not even cleared to compete. It's such a bummer. We were just getting started together. You know, I always loved watching the tag matches the most when I was on the road with you. And those tapes of you and Molly tagging together weren't bad either.
Ah, yes, your new best friend, Molly.
She's not my best friend. Don't you want me to be on good terms with management?
Fine, you're right. Lift.
I think those championships are so aspirational for me because WWE finally has them. After the women's titles were introduced in 2018, tag matches started to seem even more important. Ow!
Excuse me?
What did I do?
No shade to the current generation, but I grew up watching women compete on TV in tag team championship matches.
You did?
I have clearly failed to teach you proper wrestling history. Yes! Did you think I grew up in a vacuum and one day said, I think I'll become a professional lady wrestler? No! I watched and was inspired just like you. For me, it was seeing the main event women's championship match at the Brawl to End It All in '84 that gave me the bug. But the tag champions back then were formidable too. I would have loved to see the superstars of today defend against some of the women I grew up idolizing on TV.
So what happened to the titles?
I don't know. Appetites changed. Management started putting their attention elsewhere and opportunities dried up. The championships, and a lot of the women themselves for that matter, got pushed aside. You did your stint in catering. You know what it's like.
Yeah, not the best when you're fighting for limited opportunities.
You have way more opportunities than I ever did. If I had the chance to accomplish what you can...
You accomplished plenty.
Take even the current tag titles. Like you said, I never even had a chance to compete for a tag team championship when I was in WWE. They weren't a thing then. In fact, I heard you're in need of a partner? What do you say? Can you imagine? You and me standing as champions at WrestleMania? The Mysterios can't have a lock on this family thing.
Very funny. Like you could get in the ring again. Did I tell you that Molly said I can't even pick my own replacement partner?
Oh? Your best friend isn't letting you call the shots?
Oh, shush. No, everyone's clamoring to team up with me since I've already secured the Money in the Bank opportunity. So they're having a fatal four-way on Raw to decide.
Interesting method. You know, on second thought, maybe I want to keep this desk. So many memories.
Justine!
Kidding. Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Seriously? You?
Yes! Me! What can I say? I'm a winner, baby!
Molly, come on! I can't work with her!
What about the stuff you said when you were asking to be put into this match? About tag teams being thrown together at the last minute, not even liking each other? This seems pretty standard for WWE, if I'm being honest.
But what about the stuff you said about picking my tag team partner carefully?
Don't use my own words against me. That's what I was trying to do to you. Anyway, there's no need to argue. This has been decided. And I, for one, am very excited to find out whether the two of you can coexist.
Won't be a problem for me.
I don't believe that for a second. You probably cheated to win the Fatal 4-Way in the first...
Cool it. Don't forget, if you two set your differences aside and pull this thing off, you both win. And so you guys don't blow it and embarrass me, I've set up a training session before the actual Money in the Bank match.
Where'd Trish go? Certainly wasn't expecting to see her tonight, but I'd love to see what she thought of our matchup.
She pieced right after the match. We could never stand to spend that much time together. Didn't you see any of our singles matches? Not the biggest fan of it.
But she came to team with you?
Yes, she did. Because despite our differences, we respect each other.
But
I'm not saying we took it easy on you, but we're WWE legends.
I'm choosing not to process that last comment. I don't want to ruin this moment of getting a victory over you and
Fine by me. But you get my point. You two are as ready as you're going to be. Just try not to kill each other.
fine. We both want to win. Maybe that's...
Maybe.
Listen, I know I'm biased in terms of what outcome I'd like to see tonight, but I can't get over the fact that we're previewing a women's tag team Money in the Bank match. Women didn't even have a regular Money in the Bank match until 2017. Boy, what I would give to compete. But since I can't, I will say that my niece has been putting in the work. I will admit she's not with the partner I hoped she would be competing with, but as they say, you win some, you lose some. In any event, it'll be an interesting evening. And I'm sure the tag champs will be watching carefully.
That was unexpected.
You defending me in the ring?
I was talking about Raquel.
You have literally told me...
Fair point. But I didn't know you. You were just some new girl.
I wasn't trying to take anyone's...
Sure. But your journey to WWE was very different than mine. I had none of that. Things have always been harder for me, and it was difficult seeing you get an opportunity.
Did it help that I crashed and burned in my debut?
It certainly did not hurt.
I can't control what family I was born into any more than you can. We're bound to have different perspectives and experiences.
You're right. Probably explains why I find some of the stuff you do so annoying. You know, besides just the fact that you're the entitled niece of a legend.
You're just kinda mean generally, huh?
See? Now we're really getting to know each other. Which is actually a good thing if we're going to work together on this cash-in. Let's finally have that talk and figure out how we're going to do it.
Speaking of... Ava, where's the briefcase?
I thought you had it.
No, I don't. You don't know where it is?
I do not.
Well, this is not great. We need you to go to Shotzi and Raquel and tell them to give our briefcase back. They're not listening to us.
Hate to say it, guys, but WWE briefcase law has always been pretty vague. I'm not sure if possession is 9/10 of the law, but it's certainly a fractional value of some sort.
But they stole it from us! Stole it!
Ava, I'd expect you of all people to understand a bit of deviousness. But both of you save your breath. A decision has already been made. WWE management has decreed that you'll face them for the briefcase in a match next week.
That's not fair, Molly.
Didn't say it was, but that...
Then we're going to use everything at our disposal to make sure they never try anything like this ever again.
Shotzi ducks, nails a discus forearm. This could be the moment that officially puts the briefcase in the hands of Shotzi and Raquel.
What's Shotzi doing?
It's the stolen Money in the Bank briefcase. They said it was in a safe place.
I guess the safe place was under the ring, Byron.
The original briefcase winner counters. She's the one who's taking advantage of the referee distraction now.
This match is over.
Well, it's over, but that's probably not the ending Shotzi and Raquel had in mind.
And the ownership of the Money in the Bank briefcase is officially returned to the original winners.
Hopefully now they can put this behind them and officially set their sights on cashing in for the tag team championships.
At the very least, I bet they'll keep better track of the briefcase from now on.
Okay, that was fun.
And look how far you've come. Didn't even hesitate to use that briefcase against her. Not like that so-called honorable choice you made.
I still don't like it.
That's my...
Our?
Nah, not when I'm...
Generous.
Let's take out our aggression on other people who are arguably worse than you. A beat-the-clock challenge. One of us takes Raquel?
I love it.
Then I'll take Shotzi.
We have a great matchup in store tonight as the tag champs will be taking on Nikki ASH in her formidable partner.
Hold on 1 second. These two aren't in tonight's matchup.
But they've got the Money in the Bank briefcase. Looks like they're cashing in for the tag team title match right now.
Seriously? That's it? No deception? Just interrupt the scheduled match?
Maybe they didn't think they needed any of that.
It's official. The first ever tag team briefcase is being cashed in.
I don't know if it's the best cash-in strategy, but it's a strategy. We'll have to see if it pays off.
She's going for a suplex on the tag team champion.
Wait, what is Nikki ASH doing here?
Well, apparently she's not happy that her tag team championship match was stolen.
And now she's going to ruin it for the challengers.
The referee's throwing the match out.
The match might be over, but it seems like the now former briefcase holders have something to say.
Nikki ASH. We had one chance to cash in our Money in the Bank contract, and you ruined it, is what I would say if I didn't ask Nikki to do that.
Wait a second, what did she say?
You might be wondering, why would we ask someone to interfere and cause a disqualification during our hard-won championship opportunity?
I would be wondering that.
But in truth, I have never been so happy that Nikki interfered and attacked the champions, which would make them a little bit more vulnerable if they were to have to compete again tonight. And I have never been so pleased that WWE referees never look inside the briefcase to verify a cash-in.
There's no contract inside.
And without the contract, that's just an ordinary briefcase.
That wasn't our cash-in. This is.
I thought their cash-in strategy was suspect, but I take it back. This is genius.
I agree, a masterful plan and a great execution from the challengers. But will it be enough?
If all that doesn't throw the tag champs off their game, I don't know what will.
If there was any doubt about their cash-in victory over Asuka and Tamina, these champs just put those doubts to bed.
I agree, Corey. They look poised to hold these titles for a long time.
It's Brie and Nikki Bella. The Bella twins are here.
Simultaneous Bella Busters.
What the hell do the Hall of Famers want with the tag champs?
I don't think this is about the champions. It seems to be all about their tag team gold.
Whatever their motivation is, the Bellas made quite an impact here tonight with their shocking return.
We hadn't seen them in quite some time, and now they just cut to the front of the line for a tag team title opportunity.
Don't ever underestimate the Bellas' cutthroat mentality. There's a reason they're Hall of Famers.
I don't think the tag champions will be underestimating them after this.
Unbelievable.
I didn't realize you were here tonight.
Last minute podcast business. Sorry for not giving you a heads up. But I'm glad I was here. It's just like the Bella twins to show up and ruin everything. You okay?
Yeah, and it sounds like you have something in common. They're also upset about never having the chance to compete for the tag championships.
Don't say that. I have nothing in common with them. Those two ran me out of WWE.
Didn't your injury run you out of WWE?
My injury just sealed the deal. When the Bella twins arrived, it was the beginning of the end. Suddenly, no one was interested in the women as athletes and competitors. They started telling me I was supposed to be a diva. You should be thankful you don't have to deal with that.
I still don't know if that's exactly the Bella twins' fault.
I wonder if you'd feel that way if your matches kept getting bumped for bikini contests, or schoolgirl matches, or pillow fights. The Bellas may not have been the whole Divas division, but they were a big part of building it.
I see your point. I want to be a real competitor too. It must have been infuriating.
Did I ever tell you I was supposed to give a retirement speech? After I found out I could no longer compete, I was going to have the chance to go out on Raw and have a proper farewell. I really wanted to thank the fans for supporting me throughout my career and tell them firsthand why I had to leave.
So what happened?
It was cut for time. WWE decided to cover the Bellas going on a double date instead.
Wow, I'm so sorry. I never had an issue with the Bellas, but knowing that definitely puts them in a different light. And I'm certainly not a fan of what they did to us tonight. I'm not going to let Nikki and Brie push us around.
You know, WWE has been requesting that I book the Bella twins on Ruthless Digression so they can do press on their various frivolous projects. I blew them off because of, well, everything. But maybe it would be a good idea to set up an interview. It would be a real shame if anything happened to them while they're recording in the studio.
I understand what you're saying. Anything can happen in a podcast studio, and it won't be a pillow fight. I'll talk to Ava.
It does seem like both of you always manage to keep busy, even before your surprise return. Groundbreaking reality shows, a podcast of your own. When you were in WWE before, you each held that Divas Championship, but whoa!
SmackDown is our show now! Stay in your lane!
That's enough! You've done enough! Break it up!
What the hell are you thinking? Get them out of here, now! Thanks for coming.
Of course. I'm ready to win some singles gold. But what was so sensitive that you didn't want to talk at SmackDown?
I've been thinking. I want to make sure that your singles run is a success. I want to manage you.
That's great.
And you need to distance yourself from Ava.
What?
I've been watching your matches. You're the real star. If you drop the baggage, you're sure to get a title opportunity. Besides, you know that tag team partnerships never work out in the long run. It's only a matter of time.
I know people around here turn on their partners like there's something in the water, but tag team partnerships can work out sometimes. Look at the New Day.
And how long collectively has any of them been a singles champion?
Okay, I see what you're saying, but I'm not sure if Ava is a problem. Molly says management has been really happy with our tag team reign. I'm sure she'd let me pursue the SmackDown Women's title, too.
Molly. Fitting you'd bring her up, considering she's a great example of why tag teams don't work out. I'm speaking from personal experience. You know what she did to me.
Everyone knows, Justine. Molly turning on you in the middle of the ring is a classic WWE moment.
So then everyone knows she's a snake. A snake who has yet to book you in a championship match, despite all the work you've been doing. I wouldn't be surprised if she's holding you back on purpose.
My relationship with Molly is different than yours. Molly's been helping me. Listen, I'll talk to her. I'm sure if I ask, she'll set me up with a championship match.
We'll see.
Hey, I was actually looking for you. I wanted to talk to you and Ava about planning your next tag championship defense.
Representing the division as the tag team champions has been great, but I actually wanted to talk to you about a singles run. Isn't there still one open slot in the Fatal 4-Way for the SmackDown Women's Championship at Day 1? I'd love to have that spot.
You and the rest of the roster. Besides, you're doing a great job as one of the tag champions. Might not be best to split your focus right now.
I hear you, but I've been working harder than the rest of the roster. When am I getting an opportunity?
Just have some patience.
I'm beginning to wonder if there's something to what Justine was telling me.
Excuse me?
I'm sorry, but I have to bring it up. Justine is convinced that you have some ulterior motive against me because of your history with each other. She thinks that since you betrayed her in the ring, I shouldn't trust you.
Seriously? Betrayed her in the middle of the ring? Do you really think that's all there is to the story?
It happened on Raw, Molly. You turned on Justine during the middle of a match. Everyone saw. Are you going to tell me that didn't happen?
No, I did that, but geez, don't believe everything you see on TV.
What's that supposed to mean?
I only turned on Justine because I caught wind that she was trying to turn on me. She was politicking with management backstage to get them to break up our tag team. She was so convinced she was a single star, she was prepared to throw me under the bus. But then I found out what she was up to and beat her to the punch, literally.
That's what really happened?
Listen, as far as I'm concerned, this is ancient history. What incentive do I have to lie to you now? And I'll be honest, it didn't end that badly for me. Turning on Justine? Let's just say that making a move like that in WWE is one hell of a statement and lets everyone know you mean business.
Wow.
Like I said before, I don't have any ill will towards your aunt today. Enough ancient history. Let's talk about your next tag title defense on SmackDown. And I'll think about putting you in the Fatal 4-Way at Day 1.
And I have loved being more involved with the WWE Universe lately. This podcast turned out to be just the beginning. I may not be able to compete in the ring, but I can certainly lend my knowledge to the next generation of talent, which is why I have a very exciting announcement to make. I've decided to manage one of the top up-and-coming superstars, a true forward thinker, someone who's not afraid to make tough decisions and leave it all out in the ring. She's my new client and the SmackDown Women's Champion, Dewdrop.
Dios mío, what a great show tonight! You and Ava really know your way around the ring.
We had a lot of fun. Thanks for letting us mix it up with you.
De nada, amiga. You know the saying about mi casa, and it certainly applies here. Our opponents started to temblar como un flan. And the chemistry between you and Ava? Ay, perfección.
It's funny you say that because we definitely didn't start out that way.
No?
We were at each other's throats at the beginning. Then we started tagging with each other. Slowly started to get along. My aunt still doesn't get it. She's convinced Ava is just using me. She wanted me to turn on Ava to jumpstart my singles career.
Ah, la gran traición.
¿Qué?
Betrayal. Believe me, it happens here too. Can be useful when done correctly. ¿Qué pasó? The timing wasn't right?
No. It's not that. I don't want to betray Ava. Her friendship means more to me than that, despite how we started out.
That is rare. Partners and real friends. Well, I understand your connection more now. Anyway, where are you off to next?
Japan.
Ay, home of my nemesis. The Japanese spider crab.
Oh, is that a Japanese wrestler?
No, just a local delicacy. But last time I was in Japan, it gave me crazy indigestion.
Are you going to explain yourself?
I have nothing to explain to you.
You abandoned me during our match.
If I'm not there, I can't be there to use you. When were you planning on doing it anyway? When's it gonna happen?
What?
La gran traición, LJ. You turning on me? I'm not stupid. I heard you telling La Cangrejita Loca all about it.
You heard us talking? Is that why you've been weird since Mexico?
Yeah, since I found out my tag partner's planning to betray me.
Ava, I'm not planning to betray you. My aunt tried to convince me to, but I said no.
Why would you expect me to believe that?
You're my friend. I don't betray my friends.
Sounds like what someone who was planning to betray me would say.
I can't make you believe me, but I hope you decide to trust me.
I need some time to think. We'll finish this later.
I overhead.
But I didn't really do anything. You're just still...
Nah, I'm over it. And you need
I'm definitely...
settle it in the ring. I can.
I meant what I said, though. I don't want to fight Ava.
Then don't make her one. Duh. Wrestling here is different. More about.
You think so?
I don't know. Maybe. But your thing is silly. Just like Nekojita Hanakuso Hanamizu.
Okay.
I'll help set it up.
I've got some news you'll be pretty excited to hear. Elimination Chamber is coming up. The winner of the Chamber will earn a title match for the SmackDown Women's Championship at WrestleMania. I told you I'd find the right opportunity for you to not only chase the title, but make a real impact. And this is it. Want to hear the details?
A chance for the title? Of course I want the details.
As you know, 6 competitors go into the chamber. Bailey has already qualified, but there's going to be a series of qualifying matches to determine the 5 other spots. You're in the first one. Don't let me down.
Thank you, Molly. I won't.
I saw you coming.
What?
Someone's been a little too snarky for our own good on social media. I don't like it. You think you have...
I do. My eyes...
Too bad the SmackDown Women's Championship is on me. Don't think that just because I'm working with your aunt, I'll take it easy.
Dewdrop with a reversal into the ambulance.
Dewdrop's doing everything she can to make sure she doesn't qualify for the chamber match.
You think I'm gonna stop? I didn't become SmackDown Women's...
Look out! That car came out of nowhere!
This has escalated quickly. We need medics on the scene immediately.
Ava Moreno, what the hell?
I think her tag team partner's just as shocked as we are.
Looked like you needed some help. Well, that was exciting.
Exciting? Also pretty extreme and unexpected, but thank you for having my back.
Of course. As far as I'm concerned, we're a team, even outside of tag team business.
In any case, I think it's safe to say that Dewdrop is handled. I don't think she'll be trying to stop either of us from qualifying for the Elimination Chamber. Carmella qualified while we were dealing with Dewdrop, but there's still 2 spots left, and 2 of us.
About that, you're going to have to try to qualify for the both of us.
What do you mean?
Molly had some words for me. I guess despite how often it happens around here, attempted vehicular manslaughter is frowned upon. She took me out of the qualifying match. But somehow you, the golden child apparently, are getting your 3rd opportunity.
Ava, I'm so sorry.
Honestly, it was kind of worth it to see Dewdrop bounce off the hood like that. Just do me a favor and win the chamber so you can take the championship at WrestleMania. It'll just mean that it'll be easier for me to take the title off you later.
Oh, come on.
What? I'm ambitious.
Hey, I'm not exactly sure where we stand right now. Am I allowed to say congratulations?
I'll allow it.
Well, congratulations then. I mean it. You and Ava really did a number on Dewdrop. Good thing, too. If she had been able to get herself to your match tonight, I wouldn't have been able to stop her from running wild on you.
Good thing we took care of her then. Sorry about that.
No need to apologize. I'm talking to you as your aunt right now. Speaking of, I may have mixed the personal and my business just a little bit. Dewdrop was starting to plot.
I'll have to be prepared then.
That's not my point. Even though we're on opposite sides of this, I still care about you. I'm not an idiot. I know you've been trying to avoid me. I don't want that kind of relationship with you.
It's not the kind of relationship I want either.
Good. And just so you know, I was able to talk Dewdrop down from doing something extreme. Instead of renting a literal bulldozer to get a revenge on you, I convinced her to take a different tactic and have a chat with Stephanie McMahon.
Stephanie McMahon? What does that mean?
You'll find out soon enough.
I gotta admit, I'm a little spooked by the whole Lacey Evans thing. I know we haven't seen eye to eye lately, but that's weird, right?
I meant what I said before. Just because we disagree sometimes doesn't mean that you can't still come to me for advice or guidance. And yeah, very weird. Seems pointed. I would have even pointed a finger at my client given how ruthless she is. But I was with Dewdrop right before the match. Couldn't have been her.
I get taking no prisoners in the ring, but pushing a lighting rig on someone is a whole other level.
Well, you know my guess.
What's your guess?
Seriously? Is there anyone who would benefit from an open spot in the match? Maybe someone who benefited in the past when a lighting rig fell on your tag team partner before the Money in the Bank match? Someone who's shown she's prone to extreme actions? Like hitting my client with a car? Don't be dumb about this.
Maybe you're right. Ava does have something to gain if she could maneuver her way into the match.
I still respect the choice you made the night of your last tag team championship match. But that doesn't mean I've changed my opinion. That girl is just waiting to take advantage of you. More than she's done already. But we'll see soon enough how it plays out for Ava when WWE announces the final entrant.
Is about to open.
It's been the best kept secret in WWE since it was announced. Everyone's on the edge of their seats to find out who's inside.
The wait is almost over because the mystery entrant into the Elimination Chamber is about to be revealed. It's Justine, WWE legend and Hall of Famer Justine is the mystery entrant into the Elimination Chamber match. One of these two women will be the next SmackDown Women's Champion.
But how? We haven't seen Justine in the ring for over a decade since her career-ending injury.
She certainly doesn't look injured to me, Corey. And she also doesn't look like she minds that the woman standing in the way of winning a championship is her niece.
Justine immediately on the offensive.
Setting her up and down.
It looks as if her niece was completely caught off guard by this. She's getting dominated in there.
Wait a second, we've seen this before, but not in a very long time.
It's vintage Justine here tonight. The Justine Jammer with the cover.
1, 2, 3.
It's over.
We have a new SmackDown Women's Champion, and I can't believe I'm saying this. It's Justine. Justine is the new SmackDown Women's Champion.
There were so many names thrown around about who was going to be in the dark pod, and Justine wasn't even on the list. Her niece must be shocked.
I think the entire WWE Universe is shocked. I'm having flashbacks to 2002.
Simply unbelievable that we are witnessing this right now. What a moment in WWE history.
Our brand new SmackDown Women's Champion is here to address the WWE Universe after her shocking return and victory at Elimination Chamber.
So, I have a little bit of an announcement to make. I've been medically cleared! Surprise! You know, I thought I had closed the books on my WWE career. But being around here lately reignited a light I thought had gone out. As I got involved, coming back into WWE, first with my podcast, and then as a manager, I started to wonder. Edge, Lita got second acts. Why not Justine? The more I gave, the more I realized you need me. You need me because you deserve to see me finally reap the rewards of the path I trailblazed. To fulfill the promises that I wasn't able to keep when my career got cut short.
What the hell?
I was wondering when you would show up. Figured you would, given how much you like to ride my coattails.
What are you talking about? Why didn't you tell me you were cleared? And why haven't you called me back?
Would you have paid attention if I had? After the way you laughed at me when I suggested we team up for the Money in the Bank tag team match? After you never thought to ask me how I was doing whenever I mentioned my doctor's appointments? I'm beginning to think I should have set up those lighting rigs to fall over on you instead.
You didn't.
Why wouldn't I? Because I'm an old, washed-up, past-her-prime legend? Girlie, you best not insult me, because I taught you everything you know. LJ. Too bad you don't have the goods to back it up. I gotta admit, I was touched when you decided to wear a version of my gear for your debut. But it was probably at that moment when I started to realize that you don't have what it takes to finish what I started. That I'd have to do that myself.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about, LJ? You followed me around like a shadow your entire life, and you don't understand. When you decided not to use the chair in your main event match with Ava, did you think you could get ahead by following the rules? Cute. That's not how it works. I would never have made that mistake. Because I've always known exactly what I want. What I needed to do. In a world that was 5 times as hard and 7 times as brutal for me. I tried to push you, but you wouldn't even take advice from me, a WWE legend. Decided to stay loyal and help your leech of a friend Ava instead. You know the difference between you and me, LJ? I've never been content walking in someone else's path. And I never had the luxury. I've always had to make my own.
My head is spinning here. Justine's not only back, but she's put a target on her niece?
Justine's certainly drawn a line in the sand here tonight.
How do you even respond to a betrayal like that? From a member of your own family?
I think we're about to find out. And I have a feeling that whatever she has to say, it could have some big ramifications for the WWE Universe.
You know what I find curious, Auntie? That for someone who's so adamant about creating her own path, you're pretty consistent in bringing up the past and what you've already done. Boo-hoo, I'm Justine. It was so hard for me. I don't doubt it. But I also don't see any other WWE legends standing in the ring right now telling a sob story about unfinished business. Maybe that's because they accomplished what they set out to do. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? If you failed because you were so mistreated, put upon, and unlucky with an injury, or if you failed because you just don't have what it takes.
You shut your mouth.
Nah, I'm done listening to what you have to say. And I'm done asking for your advice. The only thing I'm asking for, the only thing I'm demanding is to set the record straight. You think you're so powerful that the only thing that stopped you back in your day were forces beyond your control? Some sort of big bad that had it out for you? then I'm going to tear apart your past and prove that it wasn't them, whoever you think of them is. It was you, Justine. Weak, powerless, a lot of talk and no action. And then I'm going to tear you apart. And at WrestleMania, take the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Did we just see a WrestleMania match?
NXT tonight with a big announcement. I'm proud to share that the superstars of tomorrow will be honoring the legacy of the greatest WWE women's legend of all time. Well, the main event is next week. We're kicking things off tonight as I personally honor Trish by wearing this out to the ring for a special match on NXT 2.0. This is the same championship that Trish won 7 times over the course of her remarkable career. Even my Aunt Justine didn't hold it 7 times. It is going to give me such stratisfaction to wear this tonight, in homage to the greatest WWE legend and women's champion ever, Trish Stratus.
I thought what you said in the ring was exactly on the money, and I'm happy to help you take Justine down by, how did you put it?
Tear apart her past?
That's it. I think Justine's plan is to steer clear of you before the WrestleMania match, which is official, by the way. But if you want to get the upper hand, you might not have to take the fight directly to Justine anyway. Taking some steps to remind Justine about her biggest regrets will go a long way. I have a few ideas, and I've already made some calls to get a couple of other WWE legends to help too.
I gotta ask, are you just helping me so that you can get back at my aunt?
Oh, there's definitely an element of revenge to it. Do you know what it's like for people to think I'm the villain of my story? But I also meant what I said to you on day 1 at Survivor Series. I'm here to help you. Justine's so stuck in the past and her grievances that she's forgotten her obligation to help the next generation. Even her own niece. Are you ready to get started? I do have one idea that involves a certain red-haired, moonsaulting WWE legend. But with the amount of grievances your aunt has against this company, there's definitely more than one way to approach this.
You talking about Lita?
Who else could it be with that description?
Let's start with her then. What are you thinking?
One thing your aunt could never shut up about was that Lita got the first women's cage match in WWE, not her. A steel cage match with Lita would certainly rub that in her face.
Lita's just going to agree to that?
No, but if you lure her to Raw by making her think she's getting another Raw Women's Championship opportunity, confront her backstage, and I bet you can get her in a match. After her near miss with Becky Lynch last year, she's still got an itch.
WWE legend and Hall of Famer Lita has graced us with her presence here tonight.
From behind! What is she doing here attacking Lita?
No clue, but it looks like she wants a fight.
Who it is. A ding dong. Get out of my locker room.
Hi, Bailey.
Here to steal someone else's sponsorship deal? Is that why you're after Lita? She's got one you want, doesn't she?
Wow, you have quite a one-track mind, Bailey.
So what? Don't need more than one track when it's the right track. I'll be watching you.
Kind of creepy, but fine with me. You're more than welcome to watch me beat Lita.
I hope you won't make a habit of being here on Raw.
Nice to see you too, Charlotte.
And don't try pulling what you pulled on Lita on me. First of all, you wouldn't succeed. I'd wipe the floor with you. But I'd rather not expend the minimal amount of time and effort it would take to do so.
Right. We can agree to disagree. But don't worry, I don't have time for you either. I'm focused on other opponents right now. You know, ones that actually pose a challenge.
If you need any advice when it comes to steel cage matches, I'm happy to help. It's one thing to take on a legend, but I've taken on a McMahon in a steel cage. Naturally, it was a memorable instant classic of a match.
Wait, didn't you lose that match?
Win, lose, who really remembers? Just don't let your opponent weasel out of their clothes to escape. That would be an embarrassing way to lose. You know, hypothetically.
Right. I think I'm good on advice.
Suit yourself.
You know, provoking WWE legends is usually a bit frowned upon by management.
I needed to get Lita's attention. Besides, another WWE legend provoked me first.
As management, I'm supposed to say that's no excuse. Consider this a warning.
And as Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid who's not WWE management?
You certainly know how to entertain, and knowing Justine, I'm sure it's getting under her skin.
Of course, it's obvious to anyone with a brain that my niece's efforts to undermine me, to undermine my legacy, are really the attempts of a weak, scared little girl.
I just want to talk.
Seems that we have an unexpected guest today. You may know her from her recent humbling loss to me at Elimination Chamber. My niece, or as she always asked to be called growing up, Little Justine. So, LJ, I've got to ask, how does it feel to be nurtured by the best in the business and still be such a letdown?
You know, you were the best in the business, Aunt Justine.
I'm sure you didn't make the trip here to tell me what I already know.
But isn't that what you said you want? For someone to give you your due? See, after the initial shock of seeing you at Elimination Chamber, I've had some more time to think. And you're right. You were never given proper credit for what you did and what you accomplished.
So you did join me to make my own point.
What's that you said on SmackDown? About having to survive a world 5 times as hard and 7 times as brutal? In the moment, I think I would have said you were making excuses. But now I know you're exactly right. You did work harder to get less. You should have been the main event week after week when you were in WWE. Sure, they threw praise on your name after you retired when management decided they needed to add another woman to the Hall of Fame. Or now when they want to get a Legends ratings bump. Fans buy into that nostalgia but forget what it was really like for you. How they treated you when you were on the roster.
What do you know about it? You don't understand.
But that's just it. I do understand. You've been teaching me since my first day in WWE. And you know what I finally really get? Everything that you've complained about, that you're mad at, for all that you blame management or other things beyond your control. It's always been me who's been your real target. Because I'll never know the limitations that you did. I will get to push myself in ways you never could, have opportunities that you never would have been given, and see how far I can really go. And you? Justine, you're a legend. The best of her time. Maybe could have been the best of all time if you had a level playing field. But the fact that you'll never know and I will, that's what you'll never forgive me for. And that's what's going to allow me to replace your legacy with my own.
You ungrateful piece
You're a
of...
selfish, self-centered, only thinks for herself.
Because I'm the only one I could ever count on.
Looks like we have something in common then, because I certainly couldn't count on you.
You don't deserve your talent. It should have been me.
But it's not you, Justine. It's not you.
It'll be me at WrestleMania. I've still got it.
Sure, you've got what's left. Enjoy it while it lasts. But me? I'm just getting started.
The following is scheduled for one fall and is for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Here she is, making her WrestleMania debut.
To basically grow up in WWE, then to appear at WrestleMania against your aunt who brought you in? You couldn't write a better story.
This isn't just a match, it's a therapy session with suplexes, submissions, and strikes.
Justine is back on the grandest stage of them all.
This certainly isn't the first time she's been on the big stage, but for Justine, this WrestleMania will be like no other as she squares off against her own niece.
You might worry that Justine might hold back at some point as maternal or protective instincts or whatever take over, but I'm fairly confident she doesn't have any of those, so this is going to be fun.
Introducing the challenger from Manila, Philippines, Goddess! And her opponent, she is the SmackDown Women's Champion, Justine!
And there's something special in the air these days when the SmackDown Women's Championship is on the line.
It doesn't get any bigger than the grandest stage of them all, and it doesn't get any more heart-wrenching than a battle between beloved relatives turned bitter rivals.
And that's exactly what we've got at WrestleMania. For the SmackDown Women's Championship, every generational grudge match has led to this.
It goes back a lot further than that, Saxton. A lifetime of idolizing her legendary aunt culminates here in this explosive showdown.
Definitely looks in a hurry to finish things. And down with the DDT. Boom!
What do they have planned here? Kicks!
Blatant disrespect.
The champ taking their share of hits now. This is not going to be pretty, or maybe it is! Wrecking Ball Hurricane Rana!
Good grief.
Just a devil-may-care attitude on full display.
Going for broke, and it pays off.
Just carrying the opposition anywhere they want.
Oh my God!
Gentlemen, in the interest of self-preservation, I may have to excuse myself. Sack, no way.
Big impact.
Just exhibiting their fearlessness.
Exhibiting guts and accuracy as well.
Everyone needs to get out of the way of this fight. This feels so unsafe.
With a DDT!
Momentum now on her side.
She's looking unstoppable, actually.
Counters!
But she still has to do more to get this fully in her favor.
Oh, what are they doing here?
All the way up.
Sit out, Gourd Buster. Getting dangerously close to our desk.
That's it. I'm out of here. Good golly! Caught by surprise with that clothesline.
She re-enters the ring now. And surely she hears how high the referee's count has gotten at this point.
What if she does? Maybe she just doesn't care.
Falcon Arrow!
Harsh forearm draped across the middle rope. And down.
Ooh. And she can't find a response.
Look at this.
Oh, the high risk doesn't pay off.
Brash decision-making there proved to be extremely detrimental.
Can you recover from such an error? You have to wonder.
And this might not have a pleasant ending. Oh! This match is spilled out to the ringside area. And as we can see, tension's really running high now.
Yeah, we should probably clear the way, guys. Set up on the table. What's next?
Whatever it is, it's not going to be good. What now? What else we got to see? The superstar from the apron.
You can tell a fire's been lit inside of her.
She still might have more coming.
Saw it coming.
Ooh, jarring back elbow. Kick to the midsection, sunset flip.
For the win! 2! Would you have thought it possible with the way the superstar debuted that she'd be standing tall with the SmackDown Women's Championship at WrestleMania?
I'd have called it possible, but unlikely, Cole.
What a match. And there's no question whose moment this is. Whatever and whoever may have defined this superstar in the past, she's now cemented her own legacy within WWE.
We could be seeing this image at WrestleMania for years to come.
Wait, what's happening?
I'm not sure.
Can Justine be trusted here?
I don't believe it.
It seems that even Justine's small heart grew 3 sizes today.
If these two can get over the differences after the rivalry they've had, then anyone can do it.
Look out!
What the hell? The new champion was just ambushed from behind!
It may be the end of this rivalry, but this champion's story in WWE is just getting started.
is your winner, and still the SmackDown Women's Champion, Goddess.